And hello and welcome to another exterior video where I work on my truck. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. And on today's video I'm gonna work on adding some oomph to my music system. Now of course this applies to any car, not just my truck, it can be for any car. And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be installing a subwoofer. Recently I was helping my friend install some air compressor on his new truck, and as a thank you he got me this compact, pretty cool looking subwoofer. Alright, so let's open up the box, let's see what's inside. Well, so as you can see guys, it's an 800 watt subwoofer compact design with a LED light, and I think for my truck 800 is more than enough. So let's open this up. We have the box with accessories, and here's the subwoofer itself. And first of all, the build quality feels good. This is all aluminum, this is not plastic, so that's pretty great. Right here we have our power input, ground and negative, and this is our trigger wire. In case we wire it up to the ignition on, this is gonna turn on only when the truck is running. We have a fuse, we have our audio inputs over here, we have a remote over here, we have our adjustments over here, but also we have over here the audio on and off. So theoretically what it does, we don't need to run this cable, we can just enable this, and whenever the unit is sensing the audio going in, it should power up automatically and then shut off on its own. That in theory, but we'll test that. So now accessories, of course, comes with a manual, which we never read. We have a spare fuse, and this plug over here, I'm not sure what it's for, but we'll maybe figure it out, but I don't think we need it. We have a remote for the volume. We have some Velcro in case you wanna secure it somewhere with a Velcro, I guess. Some mounting hardware. Now this wire over here we're not gonna use for my head unit because I have outputs on my head unit, but this is meant to use for the older sound systems where you don't have RC inputs. You connect these wires to your speaker wires, just twist them together, I guess, and then with provided RC wire you connect between here to the subwoofer. Now here we have our trip wire, the one I was saying for this, for trigger. We have a positive cable, we have a fuse, we have the negative cable, and the RC cable itself, which is pretty long and seems to be all right build quality. It's braided, so shouldn't kink or anything. And of course we have some connectors over here. So overall pretty nice. So there you go guys, we have pretty much everything we need. Of course I might use a different wire, different connections, or well, I still have to even figure out where I'm gonna put it. I may install it under the seat, which I kind of don't want to because I feel like it's gonna numb some of the sound. So now I'm gonna look actually where I'm gonna install it, but I also would like to find out where do you guys, if you install in the subwoofers like compact design, where do you install it, where should I install it and stuff like that. So please let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll read, of course I'm gonna read them, and maybe in the future I'm gonna redo it. But for now, gonna work on figuring out where I'm gonna install it and see if that works good there. Now actually recently I also installed one of these units in my friend's truck, and I put it under the passenger seat. He has same truck as me, even has the same seat covers. Unfortunately, too bad they don't make these seat covers anymore. I really like these seat covers. Had them for so many years, constantly driving them, and they still look pretty good. Well, anyways, we're not talking about seat covers today, right? So I don't really want to put it under a seat. I feel like it's gonna muff the sound a little bit, maybe not a whole lot, because once again it's just for the bass, so it's all that like a vibration and bass and whatever and whatnot. So maybe I can mount somewhere in the back, so let me start figuring that out.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I have kind of crazy of an idea. Now, one thing was I thought to maybe mount it in the back on my shelf, but then it's kind of far away and whatnot. So what I'm thinking actually, because I have this structure over here, right? So I was thinking and was suggested maybe to mount it like over here facing down. That could be a good spot for it, but then maybe it's too far out and Again, the sound might be gonna be getting absorbed. So my other idea is to mount to this shelf, to build up a bracket over here and have it mounted pretty much like that. Between the two seats, I rarely have people sitting in the back, and when I do, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna be slamming their heads on this. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, if they sit in the back and the sound's playing, I don't know. I think it should be alright. I think it should be alright. So let me try to figure out if I can actually mount in there and then work on running the wires. Okay guys, so I have this leftovers of aluminum that I use for my side panels for both sides. Okay guys, I actually found another piece I have, and this might work better. Well, not better, but it's almost exactly what I need. This one is 11 inches, but all I need is actually like 10 inches. So, but this is still gonna be good within a range. So now, to make my life easier, I just need to make one cut, which is gonna be 13 inches long. That should be give me enough to mount it to the subwoofer and to the shelf. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Just mark it, cut it, and then again more to measure to match all of these holes and drill the holes in my frame on my shelf over there. Alright guys, and this piece is cut. I even kind of somewhat polished it with a sander as well. So this looks good. So the plan is for it to go like this. I have to match up those holes and also of course mark where I'm gonna mount to the frame. So I'm actually gonna start mounting to the frame first, marking those holes and then working on this. Okay, so here's my plan. I'm gonna reuse these holes. Well, I'm gonna remove these bolts. I'm gonna use something different over here so it doesn't interfere with the subwoofer, because like that it's actually gonna interfere. So the plate is gonna go here. So I'm gonna drill this hole and this hole over here where those bolts are, and then of course drill 2 more holes in the bottom, and that should hold it in place pretty good. And then I'm gonna work on marking the holes for the subwoofer itself. Okay guys, so here's the progress so far. I drilled the 4 holes, but for now just mounted this just to see how it's gonna look. I'm gonna use 1/4-inch bolts, and then on the other side I'm gonna put a washer, lug washer or lug nut, but I'm using this kind of bolts over here so it's more of a flash surface. Well, it's not really flash, but I might still have to use some kind of spacer in between, maybe not, we'll see. But then this is basically gonna get mounted like that, facing forward to blast into our ears. I think it's gonna be good. So now I know that this is gonna be good here. I can take this out and I can work on tracing these holes so I can secure this to here. Right, let's do that. Okay guys, now to make my life easier, hopefully make it my life easier, to copy these holes, to move it over here without making a lot of measurements with the measuring tape and whatnot, I'm just gonna use this piece of paper. Already, as you can see, I made the hole with a pointer, so I know where it is, and it seems to be, I did it right. So now I'm just gonna move it over here, mark the holes with a Sharpie and drill it. Alright guys, so change of plan. So originally I was gonna use these bolts for the top portion of the mount, but this gonna end up on a speaker like so. So I mean, there's not a whole lot of a gap. I can still make it tight, but could always have put like a rubber washer spacers or something. Maybe wouldn't be too bad of an idea either. But I'm actually gonna use this type of bolts with this kind of head. So what I'm gonna do, once again, as I did it on my bracket on a shelf over here, as you can see, they're sunk in. The only difference right now, the metal I'm working is a little bit thinner, so I gotta be careful not to drill all the way through. So now I'm gonna measure which drill bit I need and just gonna try to make it nicer, hopefully. Alright, so with a bigger drill bit I made these deeper holes, so now the bolt goes pretty much flush. Once I tighten it in, it's gonna get pulled in even more, and that way it's way better. Nice. Now I still have to mark these 2 holes on my shelf and drill that across. I had to readjust on the bottom one of the holes. I had to move it over, about an inch, because it would interfere with that bolt that I made over there for the bracket holding my table. What a coincidence. So I just had to move it over about an inch. But now we can drill these two holes and bolt it on. How much I already mounted on this shelf, it is crazy. When I originally built it up, I had no idea I'm gonna have so much stuff going on it, but it's been working good. The plate is mounted. It's not really tight completely all the way yet because I'm still taking it in and out, but now I want to put the subwoofer over here, make sure that it's still gonna match the holes and it's gonna look good. This is a little bolt that it came with, because this is just for these mounting brackets over here to screw it in there, but since we're doing it different way, I'm gonna use M5 longer bolts with washers. So now let's gonna take it over there, struggle a little bit over there, and see if I can mount it. Alright guys, so this is how it's gonna look. I think it's not gonna be too bad. I secure it only with 2 bolts on top, but the other ones they fit fine. I may, whenever I do the final mounting, adjust it. Maybe it's slightly at the angle, but it's not even really noticeable. Maybe that side is higher, that is lower. So whenever I mount it and secure it, I gotta make sure I just put it, leave it like that. So now I can take that out, the plate, because I'm gonna paint it. We don't want it to be just like that. Gonna paint it, and while that is drying, I'm gonna run all my wires. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay guys, so now my back plate is drying. I can work on start running the wires. I need to run my audio cable and I need to run my power cable. But for my power to bring it over here, I have an idea not to go crazy with cables running all the way to the battery. I'm actually gonna run just from an amplifier to over here, because I already have power over here. This I use for my air compressor, but I only have air compressor connected over here when I use it, and it's a heavy gauge cable over there with a breaker. So I actually have another plug left over from before. So I'm thinking to get the cable over here, and I'm gonna have a second plug over here. Now whenever I need to use the air compressor, all I need to do is just unplug this, and that way I only need to run my audio cable to the front, and that's it. I think it should be good. So the cable that we are provided is a 10 gauge cable for the ground, high power cable. So, and luckily I have actually a piece of a cable over here, which is also 10 gauge cable. This is for a speaker cables as well actually. So that's what I'm gonna do over here, connect it to the plug, estimate how much wire I need, route it over here nicely, and do my splice like that. And like I said, I have a circuit breaker over here, which is a 50 amp, so that should be more than enough as well. So if I disconnect this, it kills the power over here, so that should work. Okay, so now I can work on making this connection for now, and then I can work securing the wire back. Now the important thing, of course, over here is to know which one is a positive, which one is a negative. But with a voltmeter I already measured, so I know 1 is positive and 2 is negative, and I have the same numbers over here. So I gotta make sure I put positive over here and negative over here, and that's it. Okay, and looks good. Now I'm actually put a tape around all of this multiple times, so just so the screws don't walk out, and I'm actually gonna move it a little bit on the cable as well. There we go. Okay, so now the plan is to run these blue cables, these 2 blue cables. One is for the audio, and the second one I'm gonna run just in case it's for a trigger wire. So I'm gonna run it from here, gonna remove this. This is very easy to remove, and try to get the wire under. As you can see, I already have some wires there. So it's gonna go continue over here. I'm gonna remove this again, up, around, and bring it to our head unit. Now I already checked the wire is long enough. I even gonna have some slack. Let's see, hopefully this is not gonna be too big to pass it somewhere over there, but you can always just hide it. All right, I have the cable all the way up to here. I should have plenty to reach to the head unit. If not, I can always just pull a little more, but as you can see, the cable is just hidden under, and now we have it over here. This plastic, actually, in my case, there is little tabs over there. I can open this up and hide the cable in there. That's what I did over here at the front. So now I'm gonna work my way back, hide it behind this, bring it along the side over there, and bring it to the subwoofer. Alright guys, the plate is mounted. I didn't paint it over here because that's gonna be covered by the subwoofer anyways, but I think it's pretty good. So now I'm gonna mount the subwoofer, just fix up the wires, and start making an interconnection over here. Alright, so now I'm just gonna zip tie this cable out of the way nicely, and this one, the one we run for the trigger wire, we may or may not use. So for now I'm just gonna coil it up and hide it on the side. Alright guys, so everything is done, so let's test it out. The truck is off, everything is connected, and the subwoofer is off right now, so that's how it's supposed to be. Now once I start the truck,
one eternity later.
well guys, as I'm editing the video, I realized, I find out the last file was corrupt, was unusable, and as you can see, it's completely different scenery. It's been a few months since I did the install, but the unit is working. The unit is working no problem at all. So whenever I start the truck, it lights up and the music is playing. I'm not gonna play right now because I don't want to get the copyright. Maybe I'll play some video sample of some free music, but it works pretty good. I don't know if it's true 800 watts, what it claims to be, but it definitely sounds better. And of course, whenever I shut off the truck, it turns off. There we go. So maybe I'm gonna include a short sample of some music, some from YouTube, some free music without copyright, but I don't know how much of that gonna transfer to the microphone quality anyways, but it works pretty good. But as of right now, I'm actually working on the next stage of upgrade. I'm still gonna keep this subwoofer, but I'm adding something else. I'm gathering the parts and waiting for a better weather. It's not too fun to work in a cold, guys, trust me. So, but yeah, so other than that, everything came out pretty good, I think. So you may or may not use this kind of subwoofer, maybe you're using something else. If you do, please let me know, and where you installed it. I would like to find out. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I see you next time.